Hi everyone. Okay, today I want to talk about why I actually became a relaxation therapist. Why I was sick and tired of healers and therapists who wanted to be my hero. What do I mean by that? Well, I have met some amazing coaches, healers and therapists along the way, and I've met a lot, have made a lot of friends. But also, sadly, in this industry, I came across a lot of what you could call malpractice or not ethical, or people who were very naive and didn't realise they were actually approaching their healing or therapy from, in a way, for example, creating codependency issues. They were in their ego, or they were coming from a point of really ignorance, lack of skills or education or training. Okay, and we all grow and we all do have to learn. But I had many health conditions and have had many health conditions from a young age. But when I started in the holistic industry, what I came across, other than very obvious malpractice and dangerous practice, was a lot of people who wanted you to continually come to them, even though they really weren't making much of a difference. And to understand, at that point in my life, I had been a student previously. I had a few jobs, but I had a problem with my stamps, and a previous employer hadn't paid my stamps, so I didn't get proper sickness benefit. So I was living off, it was like income support, and I lived off that for 7 years. I didn't get any extra support, okay? And I had a lot of very serious health challenges, including one where we thought I was going to lose my eye, okay? And the mainstream medicine couldn't help me. And I had to spend thousands on trying to get therapies and healing just to support me. My parents tried to do everything they could, but obviously I made a lot of sacrifices. I didn't have much. I didn't buy myself clothes and things, or it was second-hand clothes. I wanted to be better. That was the most important thing for me, okay? And sadly, I came across a lot of healers and therapists who, even though it would maybe I'd feel 1% better or 2% better, but I still was not well enough to, for example, sometimes I was mostly bedbound or housebound, and it was not moving up to level. It would last for 1 or 2 days, and that was it. And people were expecting me to spend money that I didn't have in that week. So there was no way I had that income, and they were expecting me to go every week. And the genuine healers and therapists were the ones who recognized the limitation and didn't want to just be my fixer, but they wanted to help me along my journey, the ones who empowered me, who helped me get the skills to help myself and the knowledge, and the ones who would put me on to other people who could help me along the journey. But sadly, I see many therapists who created codependency issues with their clients and expect their clients to keep coming to them, okay? And it's not good practice. Now, I trained in many disciplines, counselling, as I said, coaching, healing and therapy, and because I trained in all different disciplines, I had more awareness. I learned in the counselling about codependency problems, a lot more about ethics and guidelines, and really how much that sometimes the healer or the therapist, their ego can get involved, and because they want to help or heal, it's not really about the client, it's about them. Because of this, and also because I was brought up, my father he was a businessman and was very into self-development. And I'm the oldest of 9, so it wasn't, there was a lot. My dad had a lot of pressure on himself, but he believed in a positive mindset. And the positive mindset, it can certainly help. But for me, some of the positive mindset, because I wasn't listening to my body. There was the two aspects of it. But I was still very interested in this and the power of the mind and about helping yourself. So I was really drawn to stress management, and I done a lot of different courses in stress management and learned so much. I also studied various types of meditation, various types of relaxation therapy, including creative visualization. But what I noticed was particularly a lot of healers and therapists who hadn't done formal training or hadn't really studied these things, was they were teaching these things ineffectively and sometimes dangerously. I also seen this I worked in the charity sector and the education sector, and sometimes I come across workers who were genuinely trying to help, but were using things like guided meditation the wrong way, actually dangerously. And a lot of people not understanding, when you should use certain types of meditation, and particularly people with grief, loss, anxiety, and mental health issues. Okay, so that was the main reason that I actually went down this field and how my business grew. And most of my work was teaching people how to let go of stress, but it was short workshops for health, education and community and charity projects. And obviously these organisations wanted the most out of the sessions, so what I done was gave the students and the clients the skills to help themselves, and that's what to me is the most powerful thing that you can do for someone. And it's far more worth for a client you giving them the tools. It's far more, you can actually charge more for giving someone the tools to help themselves than you do by just getting someone to keep coming back to you to just treat them for basically the symptoms rather than the original cause. If you can actually help people with the original source of their problems and help empower them, it's worth its weight in gold. And that is why I went down the route I did. And I also then started getting so many people wanting to train in relaxation therapy, but they couldn't find many courses, and a lot of the courses were very poorly written, even though it's something there's not much out there. But many people were finding that a lot of it was big schools that it wasn't even by a proper relaxation therapist or somebody that was in the field that was writing these core subjects. A lot of the topics were not really relaxation therapy, and they had a lot of missing key components to it. So I was asked to offer this. A lot of people also wanted to do my stress coaching, but my stress management coaching is based on, as I said, 25 years of learning a lot of things. I've studied stress management alone for over 20 years and coaching. And it's a bit more complex to teach that, but the core of all that, of me being a stress coach, even though I have trained in many things, I've trained in CBT, a bit of NLP, hypnotherapy, all these type of things, as well as coaching, healing. I'm a holistic therapist in many disciplines, a healer. But the key component was teaching people how to relax and meditate properly and effectively. Okay, because that is something that many therapists and healers are failing quite badly. They don't understand what they're teaching. I also study an aspect of mindfulness. I've done that a part of that at university, and what I've noticed as well, that's a big thing as well, mindfulness is the latest fad. But many people are doing 8 or 10 or 12-week courses and they still have not really grasped. And they don't even realise that even mindfulness-based stress reduction, which is by John Kabat-Zinn, is actually only a slightly watered-down version of the original Buddhist type mindfulness. So there's a lot of myths out there, and what you find as well is as people start teaching something, it gets watered down and watered down and watered down. And I've seen this with Reiki, very sadly. A lot of people who started to come to me for a long time was people who had went to learn Reiki, just felt as if there was something missing, came to me and were shocked that half of what was supposed to be in Reiki they didn't learn. Some of them didn't even get manuals. Some of them they were taught in just a few hours in a day, where the original we were taught, and even when it came to Europe, at least 2 days in level 1 and level 2, and then your master's was normally over a year. People are teaching that in 1 day. And that's another thing, we've got this master and teacher. And if you look at Reiki, originally was people who were living a very peaceful monastic life, nothing like us, and we are calling ourselves masters and teachers. And in many ways, even people who completely devote their life to Reiki and have been doing it for decades, and that's all they do, are still not full masters in anything. So we have a big, a big problem in the holistic industry that quality seems to have really got shaken up. And one of the things that I wanted to do was provide training that gave people the chance to practice and master as much as they could what they were going to teach, because there is no point teaching something that you haven't practiced. And that's a big thing as well. I used to get therapists, when I run my own meditation classes, asking me if after they attended a 6 or 8 week class, could they get a certificate to say they're a meditation teacher. I mean, and that's how insane the world has went. Now, I teach you meditation, breathing and relaxation techniques, but I don't use the word meditation because of various reasons. Because I practiced meditation for 25 years. I practiced, doing it daily for 10 years before I went and done meditation classes. But even actually at the beginning, I didn't call myself a meditation teacher because I used stress management tools. I taught them relaxation because I recognised that a meditation teacher, there's a lot more to it. Okay, so one of the things that I pride my business on and my training on is integrity, and making sure I help students and give them the training that they deserve and that basically the world and clients deserve. So when I talk about my relaxation training, I'm talking about passing on wisdom that I have gained for 25 years, not just as a therapist, a coach, healer, a counsellor, but also as a client, because I have used holistic well-being and all sorts of discipline for the last 25 years. Thank you for listening.